But what I'm saying is
that's
that
why they're broken
women
up.
that are involved in certain professions need to kind of, how do I say this? They need to line up their wants and their desires with what's actually really practical for where they stand in the dating marketplace.
True.
In the grand scheme. If I'm, for example, if I live with my mom and I'm a fat piece of shit and I eat Cheetos every day playing video games and I don't aspire to make more money or get in better shape, I don't necessarily deserve a bad bitch, do I?
Leave out
I can.
What if you have a really good personality?
No, she's not going to give me a chance. Let's be honest here. Like, I'm a nice guy, blah, blah, blah. None of y'all, there's a bunch of homeless guys that I've talked to that are fantastic people, but y'all would never give them a chance. So my thing is I look at it like effectively, women that are in sex work are the equivalent, right, from a female perspective of a homeless dude. Yeah. And what I mean by this is that man doesn't have status. He doesn't have certain things in place. He's not attractive. That's how men feel about women that are sex workers. They'll hang out with them maybe for a night or whatever, but they won't be seen in public with them. Just like you might give a homeless guy $1 because you feel sorry for him. Well, you might be a sex worker because you want to get your and you feel sorry for her to a degree. So what I'm trying to say is
hot,
that, yeah, she might be hot.
I feel like it's a tough subject. There's no one right answer, and I feel like people who are involved in that stuff are going to have to, make peace with certain realities, like you said.
Yeah. So going back to
it's a complicated topic.
And this isn't to attack you at all. I just found it interesting. So we talked about two things that your friends said you should break up with him: the threesome thing, and then him calling you stupid because of a cat jumping up on a furnace. Anything else that your friend said you should break up with him for?
Not that I can think of.
So you got rid of a 5-month relationship for two things that were fairly valid?
He moved away. Well, so that's, I guess, another thing.
Where he moved
away
to?
from me. He moved to Vegas.
He didn't invite you to come?
Find a wholesome woman out there.
He didn't invite you to come?
Where the
No, he
prostitutes
didn't
are legal.
invite me. I mean, we were talking about it, but it just, yeah, I don't think he wanted me to come.
Okay. And your friends told you to break up with him?
Yeah.
What's the longest relationship you've been in, Sarah?
3 years.
And what was your age for that?
He was 54 and I was 26 when we first started dating.
26 to 29?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why'd you break up with him?
We became mostly like friends. It was kind of like we were roommates at a certain point.
Did your friends also get involved in you breaking up with him?
Yep.
Yeah.
Not really.
Your name,
Don't cap.
Yo, your name now is Anna Nicole Smith. That's your new name.
Don't cap. Come on. Be honest.
100% involved in that.
Before,
for real, did they not? Were they like, oh yeah, like this 57-year-old guy, like we can really,
Sugar daddy.
don't worry about threesome guy, like the 57-year-old.
Who was the ex that I just told you about?
Okay, so I'm assuming the guy that was 54 years old had some money?
54,
I mean,
57.
he was comfortable, but he wasn't rich.
Okay, so he wasn't a millionaire, but he had money.
Yeah.
Okay, so did he have more money than the guy you left him for?
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, the last guy I dated.
And then you
was
broke up
broke.
with him because it just wasn't exciting, and we know for a fact your friends were involved. You don't want to admit it, but your friends
54,
definitely
it's
told you to
like-
break up with him.
When you fucking at
Yeah,
54.
some of them did, yeah.
They did. Why did they say break up with him?
We did a reality show together, and he said that I wasn't the best that he's had in bed.
Ooh. So you broke up with him because of your ego and sexual inadequacy.
I felt like he humiliated me, and my friends felt
It was a pretty humiliating thing to be like, well, my girlfriend, well, she's not the best I've had.
What's a break up to drop a 3-year relationship for that?
and other things. Just like I said, we were just friends. Like we weren't even having sex at the
So
end.
why do you-
So
why do you
that
care?
spark just kind of.
He was paying the
Why
rent.
did I care?
Why'd you care if you guys were just friends and you guys weren't?
I didn't make it work.
Oh,
How? You were him off? It was just too soft? Or? I'm just asking a question that Cat wants to know the answer to.
You know what it is. No, so the thing again, where I'm getting at with this is that, so you broke up with the one guy off of things that weren't that big of a deal. You could have moved to Vegas with him because you have a digital business. You
He
have.
didn't want me to move with him, though.
Did you ever ask yourself why he didn't want you to move?
Of course.
Okay, why do you think he didn't want you to move?
I didn't think he was that into me.
Yeah, of course.
Why do you think he wasn't that into you?
Shamed her on public TV. He's like, this is not the best I've ever had.
No. Just the young guy.
That's not the okay.
Sorry, I'm just defending her because I like her.
Right.
Well, he did tell me that he didn't take me seriously because I do OnlyFans.
Okay, so
I think that played a big factor in it.
but you stayed with him
I did.
even though he told you that.
Yeah.
So going back to what I was saying before, that literally proves what I was telling you.
I know. I was just about to say, like, that goes back to what we were just talking about.
Hey, man, I don't fucking miss. Here's the thing. I think, right, you had two relationships that probably could have potentially went somewhere, but your friends got involved and it up for you. Especially the older guy that had this money together. I mean, he wasn't rich maybe, but he was comfortable. and he took some of your best years from you, and now you're 30 years old and single. I mean, oh well, with a guy for 2 months. My bad. So wouldn't it be fair to say that your girlfriends kind of actually hurt you, gave you destructive advice for a relationship that could have been salvaged?
No, because the first guy, the older guy, I mean, I wasn't really that into him anymore anyway. And then
But it lasted for 3 years.
I know, but it just
You weren't
fizzled
into
out.
someone and you stuck with them for 3 years?
Just
I
fizzled
think you're
out.
saying
And
that
then
now to rationalize your decision.
So I met the other guy, the guy who went to Vegas, and I liked him, so I wanted to date him. And then I met my guy who I'm with now, and so I just
Did you think about maybe
dropped.
quitting your OnlyFans and doing what he wanted?
For the right guy, I would really have to consider it. I would.
Can you define the right guy
Let's hear it.
in your context?
Somebody who makes me happy. None of these guys made me happy.
Does Fresh make you happy?
Fresh.
You know Fresh?
I don't even know her.
You guys could get to know each other. After this.
Chill up, man.
Get him Fresh. Get him.
Fresh never goes to Moshi Moshi.
Very
He
interesting.
dips.
Because I think your friends gave you destructive advice. Just like, because this is the thing, girls typically, what I've realized is they receive advice from friends, and even though it's terrible advice, they think, oh, this is good advice because it's the easy way out. Your example, oh, just don't talk to him anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, that's easy enough.
Just block him.
Let me just not talk to him anymore. Your situation, just break up with him. He called you stupid because you actually did something stupid, or the Vegas thing. But like, instead of saying, oh, he didn't ask me to come to Vegas, you should ask yourself, why didn't he ask me to go to Vegas? Maybe I'm not being the best girlfriend. Maybe I could do something better, etc. Maybe I should leave OnlyFans because this guy might be worth it. Like, I don't think girls do what's hard or what's required to keep the man. A lot of the times they go with the advice that their friends give because, let's be honest here. It's easier to be a hoe than to be a good girlfriend. Not saying you guys are hoes, but I'm saying
Certainly
it's easier to do single girl than to stay in a relationship.
Relationships are hard, and like nobody
takes a lot
wants
of
it.
work.
Like you start to get into a relationship, and then when things are hard and you have to like make decisions and like what's going to be best, it's like nobody wants to take what's actually going to be beneficial to them. It's just easier to lie and break up and go to the club.
And
like,
the other thing too, also that women don't want to admit, but I say it all the time. It's on the woman to keep the relationship going. It's your job to keep the man. After he the burn of performance is on you.
Yep. Facts. Big facts.
Yeah, like,
big
yeah.
facts.
So I just think that's another thing too. Like, girls go with their friends' advice because it's easier a lot of the times. Stop talking to him, go date other guys, etc. It's always easier when a girl's single back on the market to just go out there and find another dude.
And 9 times out of 10 that these girls are getting this advice from is some fucking hoe.
Yeah.
Some like jaded hoe. It's like her heart is broken from some like 23-year-old encounter that she had. And she's just like, oh, you know what? What this guy, he bought you flowers, but he bought you fucking yellow flowers instead of red. Like, oh my God, what just dump him.
Okay, interesting. Because here's the other thing too. Those 2 guys that you were with before, I guarantee you they're probably doing a lot better now. You could have been enjoying some of that, betterment that they're getting right now. As you age as a woman, your value goes down. As men age, typically their value goes up.
They work on themselves.
You know what I mean? And most of the time, there's nothing more stimulating for a guy to get out there and work than being single and getting his girl to break up with him.
Do you think that the situation changes when the guy also does OnlyFans though, or if he's doing OnlyFans with you, filming videos with you?
A man that fucks girls is not the same as a woman that fucks men. And unfortunately, even if you're on OnlyFans not fucking guys and you just have maybe some photography, whatever, it's always going to be shunned, unfortunately.
It's a stigma that's behind it, unfortunately. Like it doesn't matter if you're just posting bikini photos on there. People are going to think, they hear OnlyFans and they think, like it's the stigma behind the thing and your value, like when you do it. And I understand the industry and you can make really great money and whatever, and like I don't knock people for doing it, but I just think that a lot of women don't understand. Like they think like, oh, I'm gonna be this like bad bitch and I'm gonna make all this money and I'm gonna pay for myself for everything. But it's like then these same women wonder why no man will take them seriously and they can't settle down. And yeah, you say like, you guys are saying like, oh, well, a man just has to accept that. Okay, well, you have to understand that the man that's going to accept that is probably going to be some bottom of the barrel loser that you're not going to be happy with. But that's the life that you chose. And now that's on the internet and it's forever. And you put yourself out there and you decided to do that. So like you have to accept that that's the path that you took. Like I've thought for years, like a lot of my friends have told me for years, also bad advice. Why don't you just make an OnlyFans? You can make so much money in OnlyFans. Yes, I absolutely probably could. I don't care what anyone like thinks, but to me, the risk is not worth the reward. I don't care if I could be making $10K a month. I will fucking struggle until I find the man that's going to take care of me. And I'm going to bust my ass working the right way and making money in the small business that I made for myself the right way until I find someone who I love and loves me that's going to take care of me, and he will provide for me and I will provide for him. But because I decided not to make that choice and hold myself at a certain value, I will have high value people that will take me seriously. But you take yourself out of a category when you decide to go down that path.
It's like if you meet a guy, he's like, yeah, I love to go to Hooters. I go there because the wings are like, we're like,
yeah.
all right, guys.
Because the beer glasses are extra chilled.